Hey everybody, how you doing? I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins from Your Black World, and I had to share something today because it was on my mind, and you know how I operate. I'm used to doing my best to tell it like it is, tell the truth, share what's on my mind, no matter where it may lie. Today I was continuously confronted with this whole thing with Dr. Umar Johnson and his consistent almost inexplicable disdain for me, which I never really understood it all that well. Um, I know that I've always been very supportive of Umar. I really like what he has to say. Whenever we've been in a movie together, always felt like he did a great job. I feel like his information is great. We've had his videos on our platform, and they've gotten millions of views. And I've lost friends over Umar. As I mentioned before, I got into a big fight with a Princeton professor about Umar because she said she would no longer support me because I agreed that Umar's school was a good idea and I supported it. And I didn't stand for that. I said, no, that's not going to work for me. I'm not giving in to that kind of nonsense. I know also that I gave money to the school. I have done everything I can to be supportive. And so, as you can imagine, I was definitely thrown aback, when I saw Umar just constantly kind of poking at me and attacking me because of something that Maria Lloyd, one of our bloggers, had to say. Basically, Maria did a video where she asked some legitimate questions about Umar and and all that money he's collected from the black community, and it's basically said, "I'm not giving you any money anymore until you start telling people what you're doing with that money." She didn't say give it back. She didn't say, "Oh, you're a crook." She just said, "What are you doing with the money? Show us a plan. Show us a blueprint." The whole community is involved in this, and and this is bigger than just you. And so apparently, I guess Umar connects me to her, even though she works with me and she used my channel. But I have about 20 or 30 people that use my channel, and I tell them all our rule is very, very simple. There's no one way to be black. Your opinion is respected no matter who you are and no matter where it may lie. And as I told you about, I had to do a lot of explaining about that when the thing went down with Yvette Carnell and Farrakhan. When Farrakhan and his people didn't understand the criticism Yvette was throwing at the minister, and I just had to tell the minister. I said, "Look, I'm not taking her down. I respect her because she's a colleague and she's a black woman with a voice, and the voice deserves to be respected." I said, "But understand that I've let Yvette know that my opinion is not her opinion, and that people just need to understand that two people can be on the same YouTube channel and have different points of view, and that's really what we need in the black community. Anyways, we need healthy, more balanced discourse. We have to get away from using language like hater, which to me is very primitive, very juvenile kind of way to describe a dissented opinion. There is no rule saying that all of us have to line up behind one dictator who's going to tell everybody what to think. I think that you live in a very dangerous society when you're telling people that you are a bad person because you do not agree with me, because you don't let me just say what I want and do what I want and without question. There's something that I'm going to label you as a hater, and I'm going to try to ostracize you and call you nasty names and all this other stuff. What's interesting as well when I think about Umar is that when that whole stripper thing went down, my position on that was very, very clear. When people came to me with it and just bashed Umar and stuff like that, I said you have a right to your opinion. I mean, people on our platform said a lot of different things, but I said in my book, in my opinion, what a man does with his penis is between him and the person in whom he's injecting his penis. The rest of us just don't have a say in the situation. So the fact that the woman was a stripper, and the fact that Umar was sleeping with a stripper, and the stuff about him claiming to be celibate and all this other, I just did not care. I really didn't care. And I didn't think it was appropriate for the woman to try to, use these private text messages to try to somehow expose something. It'd be different if he was, if he'd raped her or if he was sleeping with little boys or something like that. That's a different kind of thing. But if you're trying to expose a man for having sex, then guess what? You'll be exposing every man that's ever lived in the last 100 million years. I've been pretty consistent. I didn't understand the attacks, and what happened was when I saw this crazy meme he had put up, about me and some other stuff he'd said. We have a lot of mutual friends, a lot of mutual colleagues, and people were saying, hey boys, why don't you talk to Umar? Like, maybe you can explain to him what's going on, talk to him about it. And I let them know that I've tried my hardest to reach out. I have emailed him, texted him, and called him many times. We've met. Let's see, we met in Ohio, we met in Boston, and I think we met somewhere else. And each time I said, "Hey man, let's talk, let's catch up," And each time it was like, "Yeah, sure, man, okay, no problem. All right, here's my number, let's talk." And then I call and nothing, right? And which I mean, did it bother me? I mean, it made me curious. It didn't offend me. It did. I did kind of wonder. I said, man, is he just saying like call me and then not wanting to talk? Like I don't do that with people. If you're a colleague and I say I want to talk to you, then I will talk to you, or I'll text you back or email you back and say, hey man, I'm really sorry, I'm really busy, I'm on this tour, I'm doing this and this. And so again, I've never been a person who thinks that I'm big enough that you owe me a call back. I've never been one of those people. I don't get caught up in the whole, when you do this kind of stuff, you get a little bit of fame. I've never been one to let myself get caught up in all of that. I feel like that gets men into trouble. And a lot of the reason it gets men into trouble is because of our egos. Men, we have natural egos. And I think that the younger you are, when you get any kind of fame, the harder it is for you to manage all of that and manage that ego. I'm 44, so I can manage things a little better than I probably would have when I was 24. And so when I see some of the things that are kind of happening, when I see this, this massive, almost supersized, egomaniacal rhetoric coming out of Umar, I just think, man, like, I mean, what's going on? I mean, this really reeks of just serious immaturity. I don't think that he's learned that the leadership really is about service, and service means that you should be the first one out there in the front lines defending your people. You should be the first one taking a hit for the cause. You should be the first one, really out there putting it on the line for the things you believe in, because you're there for the people. You work for the people. And that's all. That's how I've always seen everything that I do. I've always considered it nothing less than a complete honor and a privilege that people listen to me, that they will take my advice, that they will show me respect. Any of you who met me in public, you'll know that when I see you, I give you the biggest hug in the world. I'm always happy to see you, always happy to take a picture with you, talk to you, sign an autograph, whatever it is. And every single time, I'm always astonished and always pleasantly surprised a little bit. Not surprised entirely, but just it's a pleasant wake up call. It's like a cup of coffee when I look and I see 70, 80 people in line for over an hour just for the chance to say hi. That to me is just an unbelievable blessing, and it's one of those things where if I could stop with every person and really cherish that moment as long as possible, I would, because for some people it's a big deal. I've had people meet me and say, "I've been waiting on this my whole life," that kind of thing, and it's overwhelming, it's flattering, and it's an honor. It's not a privilege. It's not a sorry. It's an honor and it is a privilege, but it is not a right of mine. It's not something that I take for granted. It's not something that should lead me to feel like I'm better than you, or should lead me to feel like I have the right to say anything about you or to you or whatever. I mean, don't get me wrong. If somebody comes incorrect in terms of bringing a bunch of nonsense or a bunch of petty, ridiculous attacks over silly stuff, I have no problem shutting people down. I mean, you know me. I tell things like they are. But at the same time, when people are coming either to my Facebook page or whatever, I'm always respectful of that. So when I see a man who is blatantly saying to people, he's putting himself in pictures, and all these pictures of himself next to Marcus Garvey and Frederick Douglass, and proclaiming himself to be the prince of this and the king of that, that is strange to me. I mean, that's really strange. I mean, brother, it's not your job to decide that that you are equivalent to Marcus Garvey. It is your job to do your best and to serve the people, and you let the people decide how you match up to Marcus Garvey. You let them give you that label. You don't go around telling people that this is what you are. I'm the most highly sought after this. I'm the most spectacular that. I'm the greatest this. I'm the greatest that. What that really signals is that your maturity level is not where it needs to be for you to have the position that you claim to hold in our society. Um, a man is best at leadership when he has obtained what psychologists talk about as self-actualization. Self-actualization means that you understand that you are part of something bigger than yourself. You're living for something bigger than yourself. It's not about you, it's about the cause, it's about the people, because you are merely a vehicle and a vessel through which people can get to the ultimate cause. So if that means that people go through you to get to the cause, that's fine. But if they go through somebody else, that should be okay too. But then you have some of these people out here who behave like these mega pastors. Some of these mega pastors, their mindset is, it's okay if everybody serves God as long as you come to my church and give me all your money. And believe me, that mega pastor mentality doesn't just exist in the church. You got these pimps outside the pulpit too. You got these people that are out here, that are out here. It's okay to have a business and to raise money for your business. I'm not saying that's wrong. I do that. We have to raise money because I have 30 people I have to pay. But when you're sort of positioning yourself as the ultimate go-to whatever, almost like Jesus, like to get to God you must come through me. Um, that signals a deficit in your mental health. That really says something. That signals narcissism, a very unhealthy amount of narcissism. And I have, and I think that when I see this kind of behavior with Umar, and if you don't believe me, just go to his Facebook page. You're going to see all kinds of images that really just kind of say, "I'm great. Look at me. Look, I'm better than you. I'm this. I'm that. I'm the other." And nobody does it like Papa. Like I mean, you're not a rapper, brother. You're supposed to be a scholar. I mean, okay, so you call yourself Papa, okay, whatever. I don't care. But at the end of the day, it's something about it turns my stomach. Something about it, about believing that every single thing that happens around you must be about you. It says it sends a signal of insecurity. It says that there's something there that may not be what it appears to be. And I'm gonna tell you, it made me reconsider when I've had people come to me, and I never really dug into this, but I've had people. One time, I'll tell you one quick story, then I'm gonna shut up about this. Somebody came to me and they said, "Where did Umar Johnson get his PhD?" And I said, "I don't know. Let me ask." I ask questions on my Facebook all the time. Like when I wanted to get in touch with Dame Dash, I reached out and said, "Does anybody know how to get in touch with Damon Dash?" And Damon and I hooked up after that. We've been friends ever since. So I said, "Well, where did Umar Johnson go to school?" And not one single person, if I recall, actually gave me an answer. Um, uh, Everybody pretty much got the people that supported him just got mad. They said, "Why are you hating? Why are you hating?" And I said, "I don't understand how you're hating on somebody by saying where did they get their PhD, unless they don't have a PhD and you're defensive about that or you're upset about that." Now, I'm not a person. I've never been a person who thought that you have to have a PhD to do what we do. But if I ask a question and your answer is anger, that tells me that you don't have an answer. Because if you had an answer, you would just give me the answer. You wouldn't say, "Why you hating? What are you talking about? Are we in a rap video? Is that why? I mean, what is this hating thing? I mean, no, I'm a 44-year-old man. I don't walk around hating. I walk around looking for the truth. I walk around saying things as I see them. So let's stop talking like we're 21. You can't call everybody a hater because they ask a question you don't want to answer. Um, I answer 1,000 questions a week just for my students in the boot camp and other stuff. Um, I'm not just gonna break down and call you a hater because you asked me a question. That doesn't make any sense to me. So, in fact, I would love for anybody to tell me if Umar really is Doctor Anything. And again, I see a lot of fake doctors all around all the time, like Doctor Farragray. Doctor Farragray ain't got no doctorate. But and I will tell you, my doctorate was real. I went to school for a decade after college to get my doctorate. And so, if I were to really get, I guess, upset about that, I guess I'd say something about it. But my argument has always been, I told people this. I said, look, I don't care if Umar has a doctorate or not. I said he's obviously a smart man. The things that he shares are obviously brilliant ideas. His delivery is extraordinary. I give him the same respect I might give, say, people, public figures that we respect. Like, for example, financial advice. I have my PhD in finance. Susie Orman doesn't. But Susie Orman or Tiffany Aliche, people like that, Melody Hobson, they give really good financial advice, and I don't care if they have a PhD or not. And so I just said, well, whatever. I don't care. I'm not trying to like ask the question, but since you're getting so defensive, I really am curious now. So I googled it. I couldn't find anything, and the thing was, I never pushed it. I never really dug into the issue because I was like, well, you know what? I support Umar, and I don't care. It doesn't matter to me, And so I think that to have somebody where you've backed them up in so many occasions, and have them just kind of deciding you're the enemy too. Um, that's just not cool. I mean, that's just really not cool. And honestly, I'm kind of done. I'm kind of done, trying. I'm kind of done trying to be nice. I really now look at him with a heavy eye of suspicion. I do wonder. I'm wondering why it is such a threat for you to simply reveal some sort of blueprint or some sort of financial report to explain what you did with all this money. Um, I'm not going to dig into it any deeper, but there are consequences for crowdfunding and raising money and not delivering a plan. Now, maybe he's going to build a school one day. I'm not saying he's not going to build a school. I hope he does build a school. And I think he put up another little meme. A lot of people are going to have the gas face again. Again, like really juvenile type terminology. We use that term in the 90s. When this school goes up, and I'm not going to be one of those people. I'm going to stand here and clap and say that is what we need. We need a school for black boys. But at the same time, I don't think you should go crazy and call everybody a hater and call women names and attack people because they ask you a question, brother. I mean, seriously? You collected $500,000 from the black community. You owe some motherfucking answers. Excuse my French. You owe an answer. People have a right to ask you, what are you doing with my money? And stop acting like you are such a king and so high and mighty that you don't owe anybody an explanation but your mama. That doesn't make any sense. So that's it. Y'all see I'm getting mad. I need to quit. When I start cussing, that's me just getting mad. But I'm sorry. I gotta call it like I see it. I don't know about this guy. I don't know what's going on. I honestly wonder if I know he's a psychologist, but I'm like, okay, is the mental health really there? Why is it that people are reaching out trying to connect and support you, and you are treating them like they are enemies? I was operating under the assumption that maybe it was a misunderstanding, but now I'm no longer there anymore. Now I will say that there's just certain people out here that I don't trust. You've heard me talk about them. I told you quite plainly after being next to Al Sharpton how I felt about working with Sharpton. I don't talk to Sharpton anymore. I don't work with Sharpton anymore. I told you I used to go on Fox News back in maybe 2007. I told Fox News I'm not coming back, and I haven't been back. Same thing when it comes to Umar Johnson. I guess you could never say never, but as it stands right now, I have very little interest whatsoever in having a conversation with him. I have very little interest in supporting him. I will support the people. I will not fault you if you tell me you support him, because a lot of the people that support me, they really like Umar, and I think that's okay. I think they have a right to like who they want to like. But I can't support this craziness. It's weird to me. It doesn't make any sense. And if you want to wonder if it bothers me, it really does. I mean, it bothers me. It was honestly a little bit hurtful, to have this person that you look up to kind of behave in this way. I'm not afraid to say that it actually made me say, man, like, what did I do? Like, is there something else is there a way I can approach this? And so I don't know. So I'm done. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. And I apologize for cussing, but you've heard me cuss before. I told you, that's me and my daughter. We both potty mouths. But at the end of the day, what I will say to people is this: whoever you support, whoever you choose to, back in terms of their ideas or whatever, always just remember, never let anybody convince you to let go of your critical thinking skill. Question everything. Don't get caught up in charismatic leadership just because somebody look good and sound good, or they say their music to a beat and it sounds catchy. Ask yourself, is that true? Ask yourself, is this really right for me and my family? Because really, at the end of the day, people like Umar, people like myself, anybody else, we're props. We're here. We do our thing, and we do get some attention for it. But at the end of the day, you're your own black leader. If I haven't empowered you to lead yourself, then I haven't really done my job. I don't want you dependent upon me to guide you. Because again, I'm not going to live forever. I don't know. I may die tomorrow. And I've literally spent every single day of my life in the public eye preparing for my death. Every day I'm always thinking, what if I'm not here? So I make videos. If you want to know why I make a lot of videos and write a lot of articles, it's because I'm leaving a trail of ideas. I want there to be, my dream is that 100 years from now, there will be some child who's not yet born who's going to watch all of my videos, and it's going to give them the courage to overcome adversity that lies in front of them. They're going to have the self-esteem to feel good about who they are. They're going to have the knowledge to pursue whatever it is they're trying to pursue. That's what I really think about. And it's not, I know it sounds gloomy to say this. People thought when I started talking about this kind of stuff, people think that I'm dying or something like that. And I say no. What I'm actually doing is living for the first time in my life and creating the keys to immortality, which is to influence as many people as you can, so that they influence other people. You don't want to be a king. You want to be a king maker, and that's my goal. My goal has always been to be a king maker. So when I talk to you, I want you to be a king. I don't want you thinking that Boyce Watkins is the greatest, whatever. I mean, if you want to thank me, that's fine, but don't thank me in a way that says that I'm better than you. I'm not better than you. I'm not anything in this world that you can't be yourself, and I want you to aim for that. So that's all I really want to say. I'm going to stop talking, guys. And I know some of you may be disappointed to even see any of this happen with me and Umar, but I owe you the truth, and I'm not gonna sabotage what he's doing and try to undermine it. But at the same time, I'm not gonna just blanketly get behind something, remain silent about something when it really bothers me. And this is something that really bothers me. I literally woke up today and I said, I saw a couple of things. And I said, okay, that's enough. This is silly. So anyway, take care. Talk to you guys soon. I love you. Peace.